think we're good.
Okay, I hope so.
Hello, here we are.
We only said hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I never do an intro thing, but I guess since we're doing this here, I'll say, welcome to HoogkinBan Salon. It's me, Kobe, Hoogkin, all the names, and Timothy. Also, lots of different names. But it's called Tim.
Yeah, Tim's fine.
We'll keep it simple, Tim.
Just don't call me Timmy. That's something.
Oh no! Oh, you don't like Timmy? But
that's something only OG family does.
Okay.
You've had to have known me before puberty in order to call me that.
Interesting. Okay, that's fair. I'm post-pubescent, so I'm post-pubescent Tim, so not pre-pubescent Timmy.
Yeah.
So fair enough.
Yeah.
I can honor that. And it's funny because we did talk about before how you wanted a nickname. You said you like TJ, or
yeah. It's funny. I don't know.
Sorry.
Growing up, I've always preferred my middle name over my first name. Growing up, I don't know why.
I mean, let's
Joseph.
start it now. Let's just start calling you. Is your middle name Joe? Joe, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Oops, did I put out your? Am I not supposed to?
It's well, actual long name is Joseph, but yeah, Joe.
Joseph.
So I don't know. I've always liked that more. I don't know. I don't know why, but it feels weird, like to just to go around and say, okay, call me Joe now. It's I don't know. It just feels weird with people that have known me for 10, 20 years plus. I don't know. I feel like if I moved somewhere new, where
it's like a fresh start.
kind of all by myself. Yeah, fresh start. I'd
Yeah.
be like, oh yeah. My name's Joe. Yeah. And then when people come to visit me from back home, they'd be really confused.
Yeah, no, I know exactly. Yeah, I have that same thing, but I don't know. Well, we can call you anything but Timmy, or late to dinner, but yeah. So yeah, we talked about all that. I guess we'll say that was one of the things we talked about in Florida. But yeah, just to preface this, in case for anyone that doesn't know, yeah. So we went to Florida. Oh yeah. So this is the second time that we're doing like a episode together, and then the first one I can't remember how it came up, but
anybody that watched the first one will remember that Kobe very kindly invited me to Florida, and we went, had a blast.
Yeah, and
I'll let you lead off.
You drove the whole way, so it worked out. I mean, it was pretty nice for me because I didn't have to drive at all, so I just fucking chilled. We drove down there. I guess we can go over the whole trip. Oh, I also recorded a bunch.
Yeah.
I'm working on to make the vlog. The one we joked that it's gonna be just a 96-hour video of like 15-second clips, but it's like a 3-day montage. But what was the thing I was saying? Oh yeah. So
the time lapse of all the awesomeness.
Oh, that was weird. Did you change your?
No, it did it on its own.
Wow, it just went to like super wide mode or something.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I was like, shit, did I do that?
Let me.
Do you need to adjust it or?
I don't know. Did you touch anything?
I didn't. I don't know.
If you didn't touch anything, I don't think you did anything.
No. Yeah, I didn't. But I didn't know if.
No, I mean the damn thing just beeped and said.
Yeah, it's weird. It switched to.
Yeah, I don't want to touch the camera, so.
Okay, I mean, if you're cool with how it looks,
your internet connection is. Well, I mean, it don't look as good, but let me.
Oh shit!
There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Sorry, I went into the phone. I went into the phone app, and you can do that on yours too.
Yeah. I haven't hooked mine because I got the new one.
Yeah. So, so I just went into the app. I don't know. It was on a setting. This is like a preset setting, a customized setting I made.
Gotcha.
And I don't know what the hell why it kicked back to whatever other preset setting that was. Um, but yeah, this is better.
Right. Yeah, yeah. It's a little more tied up. So for people that are only listening and can't see us, thanks for hanging in there. But yeah, so we're figuring this all out. We both started doing this, like I just started doing this like in the last couple of months, where actual video. So it's funny, it's a funny learning process between the two of us. We'll be like, oh hey, this thing fucked up, and we're like, oh well, do this. So we're both learning as we go along, but hey, it's fun
Yeah,
as
and
we
you
do it.
you you got me into the kind of the passion interest in getting into the hobby of this as well. So I've done less than you, and I've spent more time buying equipment and setting it up and playing with it than I've done in any recording or anything, uh, actual anything with it. Like
Yeah.
I think I did my first couple test videos last night.
Nice, nice.
Other than that, I hadn't all had it put together all at once and you know tried it all together and made sure everything meshed. But so far, so good. I'm sure there'll be plenty of technical issues in the future. But uh, for now, I'm not screwing it up completely. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of critique of what can be done differently, but trust me, I'm looking forward to hearing it because I want to make this a lot better.
Yeah, yeah. Ditto, same. But yeah, no, it looks good and everything. So far, so good. Uh oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, jump. Fuck, man, my brain is so scattered right now. But anyway, so drive down to you in Virginia. I think I drove down on like Thursday, then stayed overnight. Then we drove
Yeah, you came out to
down.
the lake.
Yeah, I got to see your sweet setup you got out there.
Yeah, the
And
picture of the garage here does not do it justice.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. And you made those steaks. So I think
Mm,
Thursday night you cooked
yeah,
dinner. I got pictures and
made those
videos
nice
of that.
fat steaks
Oh
and
man, they were thick.
some
Yeah, 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 yeah.
good roasted potatoes and corn on the cob and stuff.
Oh man, that
You
was
know,
so good.
I love cooking. It's being in the kitchen is my happy place. I don't always have the motivation to do it. Um, you know, I'm a professional procrastinator, but when I get in there, I mean, it's just my mind goes blank, and I'm just thinking about a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Mm.
You know, you know, uh, little salt here, little salt there. I love it. I love it absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's other thing I learned so while you were cooking dinner that night, you told me that you went to culinary school, which I didn't realize, or maybe you
Yeah,
had told me before, but
I don't
um,
know.
I,
It comes up here and there with people, so I can't remember who knows and who doesn't.
yeah, but that
Yeah, no,
that's
I did a year out of college, out of high school when I graduated in beginning of 2000, and uh, you know, had more fun or did more partying than going to class. I didn't go to class very much. I made it to work. I made it to my job, and at a restaurant that I was working at the time,
mm,
into parties. That's about as packed as my as much as my schedule could take. So
so,
that only lasts about a year. And then the military, well, construction for a couple of years, and then the military. Then got out and used that good old GI Bill to go back for a couple more years to culinary school. But
mm.
now it's just so much fun. Creating did it again.
uh, oh, can you hear me? I can't see you. But oh, oh, there you are.
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps.
Oh, maybe it's a time setting. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Hmm.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I just don't understand why it keeps doing it. It's pissing me off. It shouldn't be doing it. camera doesn't feel like it's overheating too much yet. That's one problem I'm finding with these cameras is that they overheat a little bit.
Uh,
With the media mod on them, I couldn't when I took out the battery and put it in the media mod, it wouldn't connect to HDMI. But you
oh,
can
weird.
take out the battery and do USB straight to the computer, and apparently that helps it not cool down or something. But I don't know. So
Yeah, that's interesting. Cause yeah, I had the same. So I was using a GoPro, a Hero 5, and when I had so I had an issue with one. It would, I forgot, I didn't realize that there was a timer, like it, you know what I mean. Even recording, like I set it record, and then after 1 hour it shut off. And then the second time I tried to use it, the battery died like really fast. So then I started plugging it in, but then when I'd leave it plugged in, it got like super hot. Um,
yeah, yeah. So I mean, yesterday when I was messing with this, I mean, I don't think I did anything for this long. I mean, it's only been a couple minutes, but hopefully that stops doing that. But who knows?
yeah, we'll see.
Who knows? Yeah.
Oh, the thing I was gonna ask you about for culinary school. So is there, yeah, I'm trying to think. So is there like a degree, like what is, like if you graduate culinary school, what do you come out with? Is it like your certifications or something, or you
Oh
can
yeah,
just when
you
you go to a
come.
restaurant, you say,
Well, I mean, it depends on where you're going. You can go to a trade school for culinary, and at that point, you're just walking out there with certificates. You can go to a community college and walk out with an associate's. You can go to a 4 year uh, college and walk out with a bachelor's in culinary arts, or in uh, and probably a couple other titles on there from what you did there. So it really the term that what you walk away with at the end of the program. It really depends on what kind of school you go to. Um, but regardless, even if you go for a bachelor's, you're going to have a number of certifications before you're done, because there's you know uh, like safe cert, uh, which is for like sanitation and all that
mm,
stuff, and there's a number of other things you can get certified on. So uh, yeah, like I went to two separate community colleges, totaling 3 years total.
gotcha.
Um, so but I loved it. I was there, even though I was a paying participant, not it's like an auditor or anything. I had a blast. I loved culinary school. It's just you go in and there's some classroom stuff, but you go in and you're in the kitchen and you just they say go cook something, or they whatever you want, or they give you a cuisine or a specific meal to cook. They say just go cook it. You have until the end of class. And the actual cooking classes themselves, when you're actually in the kitchen, are like 2 hours long or something. They're not short, to give you a proper time to cook things and whatnot. So yeah, no, it's blasted. And then at the end of class, everybody gets to taste everybody else's food, and it's like a big potluck at the end of every class. It's
Yeah,
nice. You never leave school hungry.
yeah. I believe it, man. That's pretty cool. Yeah, because I think I had told you about it. Maybe it was we were talking about it then. Like I had a buddy when I was in the Marine Corps. His brother was a had done. He was going to. I don't remember which school he was going to, or maybe an institute. I don't know if there's a difference. But he was like a competitive chef too. So he would do like those cooking competitions or whatever. So my buddy was saying like
Yeah,
his brother, I guess he lived in like, a regular like dorm, like a suite or whatever. And you have like three suite mates or whatever. But since his brother was
yeah,
doing that program, and since he was like a competitor, their kitchen that they had, what is it called? Their pantry was always open to him. So like 24 hours a day, he was allowed to go in there and he could use whatever ingredients were in there. to make whatever he wanted because
Nice.
it counted as like I guess practice. So his roommates were always just eating these crazy good stuff. So that's what I meant. Like what you're
Nice.
saying, that's what I'm imagining. Like that's got to be like a cool group of for people that like to eat food, which I love to eat food. That
Yeah.
would be a cool group of people to be around. I think and
Yeah.
just always be
You
eating
know,
cool stuff.
the beginning of each class is kind of like those cooking competition shows
Hmm.
where it's like, all right, there's the pantry. Everybody go get what you want, and everybody like runs and tries to
Yeah.
get like the best stuff or whatnot. For the produce and stuff, it doesn't really much matter because there's usually plenty of that. But like the meat and stuff, like everybody wants the best cuts or
Mm.
whatnot. So everybody's like, oh, I need this and I need this, and often there's not enough of everything. So like everybody's like, oh, I need that for mine. Well, I need it for mine. Well, I need it for mine. And so like it's a little bit of a first come first serve when it because they just roll these carts in with a bunch
Oh
of food
wow.
and everything you need for the cuisine of the day or the meal of the day that you have to cook, and you pretty much just go after it like scavengers.
I'm so. Does anyone ever get into like a sword fight over ingredients?
No,
Imagine
no,
people like
I
reaching and someone's like swinging their butcher knife to ching ching, fencing to
no, there's an occasional fight, whatnot,
like a fist fight.
verbal argument, I would say. Um, but actually, all the people I was in culinary school with, they're all awesome.
Mm,
Like it's everybody wants to help each other out.
mm,
So they're more than most of the time, unless it's like, hey, if I give you this, I'm ass out completely. Like
yeah.
it's a very sharing community. And
Yeah.
very it's I don't know. It's a culinary arts is a very bonded community. Um, and it's kind of like having membership into a program.
Mm,
Um, obviously everybody doesn't like everybody, but for the
yeah.
most part, everybody just gets along and it works out as long as everybody's doing their job in the kitchen and people don't have that to complain about,
Right.
picking up other people's slack and stuff. Typically, the kitchens run extremely smoothly and the
Mm,
attitudes are great. But you know, culinary school is one thing, but when you're in an actual kitchen, I think the morale all comes down from the head chef.
right. Right. Yeah.
Um,
Imagine it's like like
if
small
if they're
unit leadership. It's kind of thing.
yeah
It's like running. Yeah,
if they're
running a
good to
crew.
work with, yeah, if they're good to work with, then it's a great atmosphere. But uh, if they're a nightmare to work with, then everybody's life is a nightmare. It kind of seems like so.
Mm,
Everybody, whether you're in the kitchen or whatnot, everybody kind of has that, good boss, bad boss uh, scenario, memory, experience, whatever
mm.
word you want to place in this blank in the sentence there.
Right. Right. No. Yeah. 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 That makes sense. Yeah. I guess I was also thinking. So I guess yeah, that makes sense. Like you're saying that there's like that sense of camaraderie of you got of y'all like in class and stuff. Because I guess I was imagining what is that like chopped. So I guess yeah, you're not
Mm.
you're not like in competition with each other. So it's everyone's there learning and you're all growing together and kind of figuring stuff out. Is there
Yeah, it's a
so
blast.
is there a lot of I guess you don't have to answer this if you don't. Is there a lot of like cocaine in culinary school? Because I feel like the professional chefs on TV that I've seen, and maybe this is an old thing from like the 80s and 90s. Like I'm thinking like especially like Anthony Bourdain, and I'm trying to think of who else, but they're like famous for having just they said they were just like coked out the entire time, just like because they're in the kitchen for 24 hours straight, just like, well, I'll do this, do that.
I don't. I have not seen. I've seen plenty of coke in my life, but honestly, never in the kitchen.
Mm,
Never with chefs. I'm sure it's there. Everybody has uh, their you know preference of vices.
right, right.
Lots of weed though. Lots of
Yeah.
weed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I can imagine
ass
that.
load of weed.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I wonder. So now think about this too. With all the, so with with weed becoming more inching closer and closer to federal legalization. I wonder like how many culinary programs they're gonna have where they like start incorporating like marijuana or cannabis, what do you call it, meal, not meals, but you know what I mean, cuisine, there we go.
Yeah, infusion,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
infusing it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause I feel like
I don't
that's probably gonna
know.
be huge.
I don't know. Yeah. There's a lot of home cannabis home cooking shows online, and even like
Oh, that makes,
Netflix.
of course
I
there
think
is, yeah.
I was just looking through Netflix yesterday, and I didn't. I think I watched like 2 seconds of each one just to see what the premise was. Um, but there's two different uh, cannabis cooking competitions, like Chopped, kind of.
Oh, really?
Um, or
That's cool.
one is like Chopped. I think the other one is a little different. I think, but yeah. So they I love that shit. I love all cooking shows. Yeah, I mostly stream everything I watch.
Mm.
Um, I only have cable because of the wife. She watches quite a bit of regular TV. But if I do watch regular TV, it's usually on the Cooking Channel or the Food Network.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
And they've had a couple themselves too. But no, it's very interesting. You know I've I, I've tried the edibles and stuff like that in the past, and something with it, something with my metabolism. It's zero effective. It's like
Mm.
placebo to me. Um, uh, it works out for me in other forms, but eating yeah, it just doesn't work. I don't understand it. But hey, I've done extensive research into trying to get to the bottom of the issue,
What do you call it?
and
Research and
and
development.
yeah, and I've come up with nothing. So
Mm.
I've moved on to my next science experiment.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, Dang, that's cool. And then yeah, man, there's so many things. Yeah, with food and cooking, like yeah, I'm thinking like a million different things. And then because you also talked about looking at, you're interested in doing your own kind of cooking videos. I guess you said you've kind of recorded some, but kind of
Yeah,
messing around just to see how it turns out.
I've done like two. One is like 30 seconds long. The other one is like just under 10 minutes, but it's just most of the video um, with some music in the background. There's no other than seeing me move around and cutting things and making the food. I don't like talk or anything. Eventually, I'll get into dubbing and then actually dubbing over, to explain things, and then from there, I'll move on to actually speaking in the video more. But it's a process, like you were saying. We're just getting into this since the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
So um, so you learn as you go. Small steps, and by the time we're ready to take the big steps, then we should have a little bit of experience underneath our belts to, make something worth watching on a regular basis.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, something that's not like a.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry, my stomach just growled
Mm.
crazy.
But
Um,
for now, I mean, it's not about what people, getting people to watch it necessarily for me.
right.
Uh, it's just fun doing this, and
Yeah.
if viewership follows, then that's awesome.
Right.
But
I agree.
it's
Yeah.
just nice. Like I said, the kitchen is my happy place. So
Mm.
setting up a camera when I'm making something isn't all that hard. Um, and doing podcasts and stuff with you, I think it's a blast. It's yeah, I have a great time doing it. It's not always easy figuring out things to talk about, but
Right.
for the most part, it's
Yep.
a lot of fun. And I understand now why a lot of people are starting to get in doing this as a hobby, because it's
Mm.
I don't know, it's I definitely say there's some sort of therapeutic aspect to it as well.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I agree. Yeah, from
So what about you? Uh, you're Filipino. You have a well
Pinoy Akoy.
established cuisine behind you. And I know one of those staples of that cuisine is fish. And I know you
Oh man, we eat a
love
lot of
fishing.
fish. Yeah.
I know you love to fish.
Oh yeah.
So, what, what about you? How much do you like being in the kitchen and whatnot? And do you have a signature dish? Because I don't have a signature dish. I rarely mess up a dish to the point where it's not edible. So
All
I've never
right.
really truly mastered anything. I'm kind of a jack of all trades.
Right. Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but what about you? What do you like to cook other than box macaroni and cheese?
Well, I don't like to cook boxed macaroni and cheese. But
Not the damn shame. What's wrong with it?
I mean, I used to eat it a lot, but not anymore. Um, oh, yeah. So I guess there's two questions in there. Something about Filipino cooking, and then do I like cooking? In general, yeah, I love cooking, and I like eating, so I like cooking. And I used to cook a lot more, like because it used to also be kind of a like when I was active duty, like a social thing, because I would cook or like grill or something, and I always would cook like big portions, like huge amounts. So I would always like have people overeating. Like I used to like uh ribs. I used to make ribs all the time. Oh man, I'm spitting. But my I would make a like rib, what do you call it? Like a barbecue sauce.
Mm.
And so I'd make it from scratch. So that was kind of like my signature thing with my ribs. I haven't made it in a long time because it's pretty much all brown sugar and jelly, but it comes out pretty good. And then I mean, I used to so it comes in where when you taste, like how I know it's ready is I dip my finger in and I put up my tongue and you taste it and you get a hit of the sweet, like off the bat it's sweet, and then there's a spice that creeps up from the back and rises. So it doesn't get
Okay.
like overbearingly hot. So it's like sweet, tangy barbecue, and then it has a little bit of heat that creeps into it as it sits in your
Sounds like
mouth.
my kind of heat. I got like 8 different hot sauces in my fridge, but
Mm.
I don't like to suffer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But I like to get a real good sweat on.
yeah.
I don't want to have to take breaks in between bites, but I don't mind looking like I just got out of the pool when I'm done eating though.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's a lot like sex, right? I mean, all those things say it's like I don't want to, I don't want to be in pain, but I want it to be work. I don't, I don't want to have to take too many breaks, and if I look like I just got out of the pool when I'm done, then it's all good. But that's why I was giggling. That's how my head works. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, I do the
I like the
barbecue.
analogy.
Yeah, I like my barbecue sauce like I like sex. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, for fish. I don't think I have a special like cooking. What do you call
What's
it?
your favorite fish to cook
Well,
or to
tilapia.
eat?
Let's see, tilapia, tuna, and salmon are my favorites. Tilapia because it's like super. It's really easy. It's a hearty fit. It's really easy, and it's like the most popular eaten fish I know in the Philippines. I
Yeah.
had a ton over there. But they're just real straightforward, simple, easy to cook, and their flavor. It's not like overpowered. It's not like real fishy, and you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So then, but my favorite I think is tuna, and then salmon next to that. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
because like a nice tuna steak where you just sear it on both sides. Yeah, those are probably my
Nice.
favorite. But I think for like wild caught fish, um, I think like like regular panfish, just because they're so, they're basically like this. I think the same thing like with tilapia because they're just so common and abundant, and they're just kind of like my base idea of fish, like a river fish,
Hmm.
and or river like freshwater fish. And then I think crappie would probably, I'd have to say crappie is my favorite like wild caught freshwater fish. And I'm working on, I don't know, but I'm working on carp. I haven't caught any carp, but I want to catch carp and eat them. And then I want to learn how to cook catfish well. Like I've
Mm.
cooked catfish, but usually it's um like fillet it and then batter it and fry it. But I want to learn how to bake it. And I've seen some guys, they do these things. I think they're called the nuggets. I can't remember which cat. I think maybe off of Blue or Flathead. I think maybe it's Blue, but there's like a specific part that's supposed to be really good. And I think they
My
call it their
favorite
nuggets,
way.
but
I know a lot of people don't like to, see the whole fish in front of them, but one of
oh
my
yeah.
favorite ways to cook fish is just to clean it up, descale it, get all that nasty stuff out from the inside and stuff, you know, stuff it with something,
Yep.
wrap it up in some tinfoil, throw that beast in the oven or on the grill and just cook the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
And then I mean, it's just like you just dig
Yeah,
into
because you can just pull the spine or the bones out. I guess I should have say that too. That as a Filipino, for the most part, that's how we always cook. We never like we don't do the filleting and all that usually. It's
Yeah.
you cook the whole fish, and then you can pull the bone. You can eat everything, even the eyeballs, or like you eat the whole thing. So I guess that's a thing I guess I take for granted when I think about it, because I think about it from my point of view. I usually cook the whole fish, um, except for like specific stuff for like when you're making like catfish nuggets or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, I'm the same way because I like to cook the whole thing and then because in the Philippines too, you eat with your hands called kamayan, so you can take
Mhm.
the whole fish and you just because you can pull off the meat like that,
Yeah.
and then you grab your rice and then you eat it and then you just pick it literally bone dry.
Mm. Making me hungry.
Yeah, my stomach is growling. um. So yeah. Let's talk about something else. Florida. Oh yeah, I didn't know how much. So yeah, so when we drove down, we got down there. UFC 261. We did an Airbnb. My little brother, he's from or he lives in Orlando, so he drove up and met us, and we I don't know. Did you want to talk about the I don't know your the experience? Actually, yeah, I guess I am curious since like I'm pretty deep into MMA, like watching combat sports.
Mm.
So for you as like more of a casual fan that like and by casual I just mean because you don't like follow the fights, you don't follow fighters, you're not like oh shit there's a
Yeah,
fight. It's like you'll watch the highlight reels or the knockouts and
yeah. That's pretty much what I do is just watch out for the highlights after the fact. I don't really keep track of anything outside of that, but going to the fights is a lot of fun.
right.
I had a blast. I had a blast when we were there, except for um,
Oh, after.
when we tried. Yeah, except for when we
Yeah,
tried
yeah.
to get back to the Airbnb, and apparently Jacksonville doesn't have any Uber or Lyft drivers after like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Uh, it seems like so. But no, I had an absolute blast. It was a good time and whatnot. It's just
So
yeah, a
it
lot
was
of
your
good fights too.
it was your first like live MMA event?
No, it's my first live UFC event.
Okay, cool.
I uh Jason actually Jason actually got his buddy, his neighbor actually got tickets to some MMA fight down at I think it was George Washington University,
Oh,
somewhere down there
it,
by Foggy Bottom and stuff.
cool. So
Jason
it's like it
Miller.
was like a pro fight.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was. I don't know how pro it was, but it was definitely MMA. But
Oh,
yeah, it
cool. So
was
it's
like
like
a
a regional,
big.
probably. Yeah,
Yeah, it looked just like the UFC thing, except no UFC
smaller
people,
venue.
just
Yeah,
all. Yeah, yeah, just MMA people. So, I'm not sure what the
promotion was.
uh yeah, what the promotion was, or what league it was. I'm sure it was one of the leagues that probably one of the minor leagues or something
Right.
of
Yeah, yeah,
fighting.
regional.
So, but no, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. So going to them is a lot of fun, but I really don't have any interest in sitting around watching TV. And
Yeah.
I'd rather watch a cooking show, as bad as that sounds,
No,
than
yeah,
have
no, no.
watch it.
I understand that because
But
that's
yeah,
I feel the same way about like regular sports. Because I used to when I was growing up, I guess we didn't watch because we weren't allowed to watch TV on Sunday, so we didn't watch football. But I guess I don't really like. So now I don't watch like NFL or NBA and that stuff because it's like I don't want to. Why do I want to watch people exercising? But for me, that's the reason I like combat sports because it's to me it's like kind of universal. It's like you know what I mean. You can get in a fight anywhere you go. So to me, it's like
yeah.
it kind of applies, and I don't know. I've always liked watching that kind of stuff, anyways. But
I also
so for
wasn't
you,
the best in the military at it. When they trained us to do that shit
oh,
in the
doing
military,
combatives,
like,
yeah,
yeah, I wasn't the best. I mean, I could handle myself somewhat, as long as I was evenly matched with somebody of the same weight or lower. But if you had
right,
any weight on me, I was done.
yeah. No, yeah. We did it too. Or they call it McMap for Marines. I think they call it combatives for y'all, but it's basically it's just grappling it, or I guess I don't know. It's
Yeah.
similar, but it's pretty interesting. Dang it, what was I saying? Uh, oh yeah, I was gonna ask you. So was there anything that I guess I don't know surprised you or that like your initial thoughts like when we walked like because for me when I walked in this is my first UFC like I've been to like you know what do you call it I went to like some I don't even remember the promotion was when I was a teenager my stepdad took me and then I've been to like like amateur stuff that people do like regular people do at the gym but this was my first UFC event
Bum
so
fights.
yeah oh yeah man I remember that shit from way back at like the beginning of YouTube uh but yeah for oh shit did my
Yeah, your
thing
video just went up. Yeah, it just went all like rainbow colored.
I wonder if the battery
I would say something about mine not fucking up yet again, but I just did. So knock on wood, or whatever the fuck IKEA desks are made of.
oh, oh yeah see yeah the battery lasts like all right I'll give it a
Yep.
minute yeah I gotta let it the battery catch back up to itself so if you're listening it doesn't matter if you're looking I guess it doesn't matter because you can't see me who cares um oh yeah so yeah going in I don't know was there anything else that stood out to you because for me it was an incredible experience because like I said I'm a big fan anyways and then like being there live and kind of like feeling the energy for me like I talked about it before I described it as like have you seen the movie Gladiator right with Russell Crowe to
Yeah.
me I felt like in some of the scenes where they show like they're doing like kind of like drone shots around the Coliseum, or even they're coming down the hallway of people walking down from the lower levels up in the sunlight. For me, that's how I kind of felt like walking in there into the arena, and you could hear the crowd. But then when you walk past the little like alcoves to go down the hallway to corridor to get to the actual seats, and it's like you can feel the air pressure change and the people like yelling and cheering or booing if they're being dicks or whatever. But it was like
Hmm.
just crazy. It felt like walking into the Coliseum. Is how it
Yeah.
felt to me.
Yeah. No, I mean it's being fully vaccinated and everything myself. It was just it was nice to have a little bit of normalcy again.
Right, right. Ooh,
Um,
voice cracked.
I just yeah, it was just the whole experience was a good time. Um, thankfully we didn't have to walk back at the end of the night. So otherwise, I don't think it would have been. But
Yeah.
outside of that issue, no, I had a blast, and it was so nice. I just wish beers didn't cost fucking $15 a pop, but
Yeah, that's so
hey,
crazy.
it's the price to play apparently.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I guess that's yeah, any stadium or anything like that, they monopolize that kind of stuff. So I guess yeah, for me, like even more glad I wasn't drinking because I would, man, $15 a cup. That's so crazy.
Yeah,
What a
cups were
racket.
big, but
What a
still,
racket.
I can
Yeah.
only imagine what people were paying for alcoholic drink or drinks with liquor in it. You know.
Oh yeah. Damn. Uh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, yeah. So after, so I guess yeah. So during the thing, yeah, it was super cool. How did you? So this is the thing for me as I guess a fan in general. Um, so for me, it was like annoying to me, like whenever people were booing. So I always it's so to me it's so stupid what to boo the fighters, but I don't know people. There was a lot of people like a lot of Asian. I feel like Asian hate going on because everyone was rooting against China and then yelling boo, and like the dude behind me that was like, where are you cheering for China? Are you communist? The dude
Well,
that
I
was like
didn't
he was
have
like
any
MAGA
of
MAGA
that.
MAGA.
I didn't have any of that in my section. Because if people are confused, we had tickets in two different sections. Um, yeah, my section right next to yours, and I was a couple seats higher. We didn't have that. Everybody around me was very happily drunk, in a very happy way, and everybody had a good time. Um, so uh, yeah, yeah, everybody around me was awesome. You know, I was you know, the entire time I was talking to, there was this I don't know, middle-aged lady next to me on one side, with her, I don't know, teenage daughter or something, and her daughter didn't seem like she wanted to be there, but the mom was super into it, and pretty much the guys, everybody within like the I don't know, the 9 seats around me, or 8 seats around me,
Mhm.
directly circling my seat, everybody was cool, and everybody was talking and stuff, and just a lot of camaraderie there. It was nice. I didn't have the crowd you had down there with the people yelling MAGA, 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 and asking other people to have their back if the rest of the crowd whoops their ass for yelling that shit. But
Yeah.
uh, yeah, no, that wasn't our section. At least the area of my section. It was really cool. Everybody was very friendly, and
Yeah.
no complaints. I don't think we had any of that at all. I don't think I heard anybody say anything.
And I also have to say like it wasn't so my the section I was in it wasn't like it wasn't contentious and it didn't feel like confrontational really. It was like no, I mean because everyone was there, everyone was having a great time and everyone was like
Mm.
excited, so I didn't ever feel like the guy that behind me that was like yelling MAGA MAGA MAGA. I never felt like he was I don't know what's the word, like he was like against me,
Malicious.
I guess. Yeah, malicious. I didn't feel any malicious intent. It was just like it was just a lot of energy, and it didn't I mean I didn't never felt like threatened or anything. It was like
Yeah.
yeah, it was just like dude was super excited and he was cheering for America against China. So I mean I get it, but uh
Yeah, I get it too. It's just
yeah, yeah. I mean I don't
you know,
agree with it, but I understand where he's coming from.
you
if
know,
that
he
makes sense.
he probably had some liquid courage,
Oh, well, yeah, for
and
sure. Everyone was
and
hammered around
whatnot,
me.
and I yeah, like you said, I'm not a big fan of the message, but his enthusiasm was seems
Yeah,
like it
yeah,
was great.
yeah. So yeah,
Um,
everyone was enthusiastic. Uh,
yeah,
and almost like the guy in front of me, he almost like I don't know, he looked like he was on the verge of getting in a fight with because he was like kept trying to talk to this dude's girl. But anyways, it was good. It was positive overall. It was great. Like I want to go to, now I'm spoiled, I want to go to all live events, and I'm glad stuff is opening it up. And then like you said with the, oh, like you said, so you were fully vaxxed when we went down. I hadn't yet.
Yeah.
So I just wore a mask and washed my hands and did all that stuff. So I went there. There's
We're
15,000
both still alive.
yeah, full capacity crowd. Well, I went down there. I wore my mask the whole time we were in the building, and uh pretty much, did all the regular, wash your hands, don't touch strangers, except for that kid that after when we were out, when he was like, yeah, I won $5,000, I need to find my friend. The kid that was like trying to hang on to us, and then you told him that I could murder him if he wanted, or something crazy like that. But so besides that, I guess, yeah, I'm saying all that to say, like, I went down, I came back, and then so that was the weekend of the 23rd. And so this past Friday, I got a COVID test. It was negative, and then on Saturday, I got my vaccination. So I mean,
Nice. So you got shot 1, huh? Or what'd you get?
no, I did J&J. I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna.
Okay.
Because
So
I
you one and done.
one and done, yeah. Because I so I mean, before, I think last time when we were on here talking about it, I was like, man, I don't know, I don't trust it. I don't want to do it. It's blah blah blah, this and that. And then I think you were like, well, man, you're being an idiot. And I was like, so whenever I came around, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. It'll make it easier. And then I'm also looking at it from the point of view of being able to reduce the number of virus replications. So not so much as like, oh, I'm not worried if I get it and I get sick. It's more of preventing it transmitting to me and replicating more times, which can increase the opportunity for mutations. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do like the good citizen, like a hard twerking citizen, and I'll get my fucking shot.
No matter what your views, anybody's views are, whether it works or not, it's not going to hurt anything. At least it doesn't hurt most people. I know there's some things out there, some people.
Oh yeah, there are some people
blood
that
clots and stuff.
Yeah.
And whatnot, and it really sucks.
Yeah. I mean, there's side effects.
I mean, even if it all is just a hoax and it's a lie,
man, it's a really good fucking hoax.
Vaccination doesn't really do anything for you. Even if you want to go that route, guess what? If the government has a list and it says 350 million vaccinations distributed and given, like, we can get back to normal. Or even if
they're like, oh, guess we can open up.
Yeah, even if things are still shit, like if everybody gets vaccinated, the government would be like, okay, now we can go back to normal. And then everybody can stop complaining about wearing fucking masks and being locked at home and all that shit, and it's just,
yeah,
get with the program. I mean, Bill Gates is getting divorced. He's probably not going to be able to afford the continue to put those nanobites. People want to conspiracy theory talk about it with the vaccine and shit. It's like, Dolly Parton helped raise money for the vaccinations. Does it mean they're all filled with fucking lipozene for fucking boobs, or you're gonna get big? Like like anybody can come up with a conspiracy for anything.
Yeah.
So more power to you for everybody's opinion and outlook on things, but a little bit of common sense could go a long way.
Yeah. And I'm full candor. I was skeptical because I was like, man, I don't trust it. I don't think it'll work. All that kind of stuff. But yeah, when it came down to it, I was like, fuck it. I got to think about the world in from a bigger picture than just me as an individual. So that's kind of, and then also I was like, fuck it, I'll double down. I'll get the one. I want to get the one-time shot just because I only want to go once. So laziness. And then also because I was like, well, of the 3 shots that I hear people talking about, and they're talking about like side effects and this and that, I think the has had like the most visible or you know what I mean, or the most reported or profiled. I don't know if it, you know what I mean. I don't know if it's actual numbers of the most side effects, but it's kind of like what ended up in the headline. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do the one that people are scared of. So like if I'm just gonna give in and get it anyways. I'm just gonna double down and do the one that people are scared of just to see how it goes. So
Yeah, I
so
mean,
so
they say a
far
lot of people.
nothing's. I don't have any extra limbs. But
They,
my arm
they
is sore.
say a
But
lot of people have issues with the second shot. You know, with a lot of them, and I didn't have any issues. My arm on the first shot was like sore for like a day and a half.
yeah.
That's about it. The second shot didn't do anything. It, you know,
Hmm.
nothing. So, and it just gives me peace of mind. It gave me peace of mind to go to Florida and do that.
Mm.
It gives me peace of mind to get on a plane and go somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's
you
that's the
know,
other part of it too. Is like
me and the wife are going to the Keys down in Florida for the 4th, and apparently we're not driving anymore. We're flying, and I
mm,
wouldn't fly if it wasn't for being vaccinated. I just
right.
wouldn't do it.
No, no, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like I wanted to hang out. I had this feeling of like, no, 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 they're just waiting for me to give in. And as long as I maintain my resolve, like then they're not gonna beat me. But then I'm thinking in my head, I was like, who am I thinking in my head is trying to fucking, you know what I mean? Like trick me, or you know what I'm saying? It's like it's not rational thought. It's like
Yeah.
super what's the word? Not paranoid, but like whatever that thing is when you're like hyper aware of shit. So I think maybe PTSD plays
Hyper
into it a
alert.
little bit, but
Hyper
yeah, yeah.
aware. Hyper alert is right.
It's like someone's trying to get me from every angle. But yeah, in the end, like I said, I said fuck it. Because then also, yeah, for traveling, it's just too makes it too simple, or it makes it too easy, or it's more complicated and more difficult to travel without being vaccinated. And not even because of the like, oh, you have to show your just from, yeah, like you said, the peace of mind thing. And so now I don't have to worry about someone
Mhm.
else getting me sick. And then even if someone does breathe on me, like theoretically my body's supposed to be able to fight off that little bit so it doesn't get enough of a hold that I'm fucking transmitting it to other people. I could be wrong, I don't know, I'm not a
Yeah.
doctor, but that's my understanding. So that right now, that's my way I'm gonna operate.
Yeah. It just peace of mind. That's when it comes down to it.
Yep.
So, but uh, but yeah. So getting back to Florida.
All
So
right.
Sunday,
Yep.
we went to the boat ramp, because we took the jet skis, or I should say, down with us. I got a pair of them, and we took those down with us. And Sunday we attempted to go out on the water. It didn't work out very well.
Well, I mean, we did
It
get
was
on
pretty
the water.
shallow, and the jets of the Sea-Doo were. We did though, but the
Right.
jets were sucking up all the muck and everything off the bottom. So
Yeah.
we ended up calling it a day pretty quickly. But we did have some eventful
Oh yeah, yeah.
time when we were there.
That was
We
that was
don't
an
quite
active boat
know
ramp. There
know
was a lot.
why, but
There was a lot going on, huh?
yeah, yeah. And there's literally like kids playing at the park like
Yeah.
20 feet away. Um, and so apparently two guys just decided they were going to go at it.
Yeah.
And they want to have nothing to do with each other other than fisticuffs.
Yeah. And
So
I'm
that was pretty interesting.
yeah, because we were we're both having fucking, I think, bank issues. So we're both like in between being on the phone with the banks because like my cards weren't working. Oh no, my card got stolen. I was getting these like weird charges on
Yeah,
mine, and then yours was having it. I think because so we were traveling, so whatever. We're in between us like trying to
yeah,
like work with the banks to like be like, hey, we need to be able to use our money or we're stranded here. In between us doing that, and then you like trying to get the boats off, then those two dudes start fighting like over next to the playground. Not even really good
yeah.
fighting
It's
either, but
it's And then the one dude left, and he was in this red car, and he left, and he was probably gone for like 10 minutes, and then he comes rolling back into the parking lot. I'm like, oh shit.
oh, he did. He
I'm
came
like,
back.
the dude that apologized as he was driving out.
Yeah. I remember that when I remember seeing him leave
That
because he was like, my
that's
bad, y'all.
That's when he came back. He had left already,
Oh,
driven out the entrance, and then he came back in like 10 minutes later. And that's when he apologized, but he came back in
oh, I
and
thought that was
he
him leaving initially.
no, he drove down and did the loop right at
Oh
the
shit.
boat ramp. And as he was coming up, I'm like, oh shit, something's about to go down.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't.
And
If
then
I
he
had noticed
just
that, I'd be like, "Fuck, there's about to be a shootout."
yeah, I know. I thought it was gonna fucking start fucking blowing people away or something.
Yeah,
I don't
like get to
know.
the trunk.
On the dock, you know. So and then he just did a loop and then was passing us again to leave, and he was just like, "Hey, sorry about that, man." And I'm
Yeah.
like, all good, bro. You know.
Oh, yeah, maybe he just came back. He apologized to them too. Maybe.
But he's lucky he left when he did and it calmed down because what was it like? It wasn't until after we came back off the water that the cop showed up.
Oh
So
yeah, I think it
maybe
was like
no,
as we were leaving, a cop
yeah.
rolled through there.
As soon as we went to leave, a cop showed up. So I guess better late than never. Uh, you know, that's one reason why people need fucking guns.
Oh, sorry.
Responsible people, that is. For all of you people that don't agree out there. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I mean, if that cop would have taken that long,
yeah.
if he would have called,
It was like an
one of,
hour after the
one
actual
of those,
incident.
yeah, one of those people would have been fucked. Or like, the wife was like, "Well, why do you need one?" I'm like, "For defense." She's like, "We got the police." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, you go ahead and bet on those guys."
Yeah, they don't
I'm like,
follow you around
I
like
fuck
private security.
like the other day. I woke up and I went to turn off the house alarm after I got up in the morning, and I punched in the code, but then I hit the wrong button. Instead of hitting off, I hit one of the other buttons,
Hmm.
and it acted all weird and stuff. And finally, it stopped. And I'm like, okay, I must have gotten it because I tried to do it a couple times. And fucking 30 minutes later, the security company calls me and says, "Hey, is everything all right? What's your code?"
He called
I'm
you
like, "Oh
30
well."
minutes later.
30 minutes later, I'm like, "Well, gee whiz. I mean, yeah, I would have been dead as a freaking doornail if I didn't have a damn gun and if it was an actual situation. Like
Right.
that's why we need one.
Yeah.
Responsible people, that is,
Right. Right.
not
Right.
not these dumbasses. And
Yeah.
so,
And that
take that with
see
a grain of salt,
that
people.
that's the other thing too about so this is just my thoughts on gun stuff, gun control, whatever you want to call it, gun issues. Yeah, having responsible like train, especially like veterans or first like police, people that are trained with firearms, especially people that have like deployed and or even if you haven't deployed, just think about all the rounds you shoot in the military just to qualify. Like how far ahead of or we'll even skip before that for veterans, weapons handle just proper weapons handling. When you have to carry your rifle around for fucking days and you have to clean it for hours over months before you probably even, or at least for us, because in boot camp you get your rifle like you get it issued like first off. So then, because you got to train, you got to do your drill marching, and then you got to clean it for hours. So before you even get to the range, you've already gone over weapon safety. You already trained not to flag people or to point your barrel at people, that kind of like all that little stuff before even pulling the trigger one time. So I feel like allowing people with proper training to have firearms, not making it difficult for people with proper training to have firearms, would help. And I think all citizens, we should all have gun training for everyone anyways. But
Yeah.
the thing too is actually I don't know, because I don't know the specific numbers. We'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure the majority of crimes committed with a firearm are fucking, you know what I mean? They're like stolen or uh numbers filed off or whatever. They're not like someone that went bought a gun and registered it in their name and then now they're going out and committing crimes with it. Like that's got to be a pretty low number of people that are, you know what I mean? Except for like
I don't.
crimes of passion
Yeah,
maybe, but
just took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say there's a lot of crime of passion out there, so that number could be a lot higher. Um, but the rules aren't strict enough for people that commit murder or gun violence. They're just not strict enough. Oh, okay. You're gonna go to prison if you're convicted. Oh, great. You know, you're going to be there in the rest of your life. Oh, wonderful. Oh, you actually got death row. Perfect. Perfect. Eye for an eye type situation. Oh, wait. Oh, you mean he's going to sit on death row for 25 years before you actually even do anything? And sometime in between then, he could end up just getting downgraded to life and being able to be out in, 25 years.
Yeah,
Because even when you get life in prison, life in prison, life in prison, um,
it's 20, 25
judgment.
years, I think.
Yeah, it's a minimum of 25 years. You got good behavior for 25 years, your ass is out. It ain't fucking life.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I have issues with the whole corrective or criminal justice system in general, just because I don't, because I think we, as a culture and society, we've outgrown kind of the modes that we used prison for in the past, because it was just kind of like separate people that have, we've identified them as problems to society, so we just separate them out. But nowadays, so it's kind of like, in a way, it's like just throwing people away. I guess, yeah, there was a time for that. Even back, like in the old bottle, they used to just hang people, like all crimes. You know what I mean? That like, you stole a horse, oh, gotta hang you, kind of thing. But nowadays, I feel like it should, and maybe we'll get closer to it as time goes on, but more of a rehabilitative kind of methodology. Because I feel like, I don't know, the system that we have now, like, no one that goes, or I can't say no one, but I feel like the majority of the people that go to jail or go to prison, they don't come out better citizens. You know what I mean? And it's
no,
and
I
they're
believe
not.
it's a high majority of ex convicts or yeah, ex convicts are ultimately end up back in there as a reoffender.
Right, yeah,
It's sad, that just goes to show how broken the system is. Um,
right. And I'm not saying I
so
don't think people should be punished for doing things that are
no,
wrong, but I
I
think
think
that
people
it's got
should be
to.
punished and very harshly, but also um, fair to the action they committed.
Right, yeah, and yeah. I feel, yeah, there should be some room in there for rehabilitation, because it's in a way, it's sort of like saying, oh, you committed a crime, you're guilty, you're a criminal, now that's all you will ever be. So it's kind of like, I feel like people, when they get convicted of crimes, now that's all they're allowed to ever be again in society. So it's like, well, what do they, well, why would, for me, it's like, all right, well, why would I even care about following the law ever again? If so, I broke one law and then I got basically all my rights taken away, and put in a system where after I come out, like, maybe I can't get a job, maybe I can't live in certain places. People are, maybe I have to tell people that I was convicted. So now there's this bias everywhere I go. So now I'm like, I'm not allowed to, if it's a felony, I'm not allowed to vote. So it's like, I'm not even a citizen. Why would I care about being rehabilitated? Now all I want to
Yep.
do is double down and be like, all right, fine, you don't want me in your system, then I'm gonna play by my own rules and fuck your system, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. There's a lot
but
of rebellion that comes out of it.
like I said, I also think, yeah, definitely there should be, punishments. Like, there's got to be accountability and repercussions for actions. But
Yeah.
I feel like we need it, because it's the same thing with, I feel like addiction, like substance abuse, because there used to be a lot of people got stigmatized, like, for substance abuse, and like, oh, they're an alcoholic, that's that's all they're ever going to be, they're an addict, just put them away out of our sight, like, don't, kind of give them any resource, or try to like treat their addiction, kind of thing. So then we
Yeah.
kind of like lump in addiction with criminal behavior. So it's like, oh, addicts are criminals, and then it's like, now we're just, I feel like, building this thing that kind of perpetuates the same kind of actions and reoccurrences of the same patterns and behavior. And I'm also saying that I'm a little biased, because like I went to rehab. I went through an inpatient treatment. I think it was 8 or 12 weeks, or yeah, something like that. But either way, so my view, because before I had like a really, like, I was like, yeah, executions for everybody. Like, fuck, if you commit a crime, we should just cut your head off and all this other stuff. I was like, fuck, what do you call that? not counseling, therapy's for fucking weak-minded people and blah. That's like was my whole mindset before, but after going through it, it kind of like opened up my mind, like that there's other, I guess, other people and other things, and there's other points of view. I don't know. I'm rambling.
Yeah, no,
But yeah, yeah. So that was a very
on a
busy boat. Oh, go ahead.
no, no, it's just no. I was literally just going to transition to exactly what you're going to say. But a positive note, there was no gun shootings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
The
put
guy came back and apologized. So
yeah, he came back and apologized. You know, very nice of him. Then we dropped the sea-doos into the water, which was a slight pain in the ass because it was so damn shallow and mucky.
yeah,
Ended up
it
getting
was like
bogged down too
chocolate
much.
milk.
Yeah, exactly. But as soon as we pulled out, dude on the pier was like, "Hey, I think those guys out there are having some issues," and go out there and shoot out there and kind of give the guys a thumbs up and see if they're all right. And they give me they responded to us with a thumbs down. And apparently the guy had one of the crank motors on the back of his John
Oh
boat,
yeah.
and he went to crank it to start it after they stopped there and ripped the whole spindle out of the engine, like
Damn.
complete dead in the water.
Oh.
And then we bring him back to the dock, and at that point I was like, you know what, this is too shallow, just getting bogged down. We pulled the jet skis. We get back, you know, later that night we decided just to head out a little early and got back here to the lake, and you crashed here for a couple hours that night before having to go the other 2 hours down to DC.
Yeah.
But I go out there a day or two after we got back, and I'm looking in the jet pump for the Sea-Doo, and there's a goddamn water bottle like this, mangled in the propeller, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And the professional procrastinator I am, I totally let it. I dropped the other one in the water, and I went riding on that here. Put that up on the dock down at the waterfront and whatnot. But it wasn't until yesterday that I went in and pulled that fucking water bottle out of the jet on the wife's jet ski. And then so yesterday I dropped that in the water, and I spent the day out on the water on her
Oh,
Sea-Doo.
nice.
So it's running fine. It is back to normal now.
Oh, that's good.
Thank God it wasn't something serious. You know, I watched a bunch of videos on proper Sea-Doo or personal watercraft safety and procedures and stuff, and you're not supposed to start the engine right at shore because the intake is at the bottom of the watercraft.
So you're supposed to push out.
So yeah, you're supposed to push yourself out and get 2 to 3 feet of depth before you kick it on, and keep it into idle speed, which is like 3-4 miles an hour.
Gotcha.
Until you're a little bit clear. But you know, first real world experience with sucking up a water bottle.
Yeah.
So I don't know at what point I did that. I don't know if because they were on like a sandbar.
Was it sucked into yours?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
on mine.
I thought it was sucked into mine because when we first got out, what the? Can you? Oh, my screen just clicked. Because when we first got out in the water, I was because I remember I was trying to wave you down because you took off. You're like, Brr. So I tried to gun it, and I was just like.
Well, the reason
like,
why
am I supposed to shift gears or something? That's why I was asking. But
the reason why I knew to tell you to just hit the gas until it goes,
yeah,
is because before you did that, it did it to me, and it was bogging down. And eventually, I just held the gas on, and it shot that gunk through.
Oh, that muck, yeah.
But I at what point I don't know at what point I got the bottle. I don't know if it was when I pulled up to them at the sandbar out in the water or what, but we didn't go out very far, so I don't know where it could have been. But I always make it a point, like I pass shit floating in the water all the time out here on the lake, and I always stop and pick it up, you know, especially it only takes one time for one of those a floating empty bottle of water
excuse me,
or you know a balloon or some sort of people trash that got in the water to suck it up in there and fuck shit up. Then you have to take it to the shop, and I don't know how
Oh,
to take these damn things apart.
yeah, yeah. Oh man. Oh, I can't even
But
imagine.
no, they're loads of fun, and it was an easy fix, thankfully, because it was the wife's,
Yeah.
and she would have been very pissed at me if mine was running fine and hers was in bad shape. You know, she can already get mad at me enough at times, so I didn't need that to add to it.
Right, right. Yeah, you don't need to help yourself out getting in trouble. uh
Yeah,
no, yeah, it was a
but
lot
it
of
was a
fun.
blast.
I meant to say that. Thanks for letting me well, one for driving, since we told him you drove basically you told him there and back and then let me ride on it.
Yeah, yeah. I just, yeah. I have to thank you for letting me drive your car for, you know, what, just under 20 hours round trip. Um, because yeah, I just felt more comfortable towing
Right. Yeah, yeah.
uh
No, it makes sense.
than myself. You know, the trailer's insured, but the Sea-Doos don't require insurance on them. It's optional. So if something were to happen, I'd get a new trailer, and they'd be like, "You're SOL on the jet skis." I
Damn.
keep saying
Yeah.
jet skis. They're Sea-Doos, people, and I'm sorry. Um, I
Oh,
know a
is
lot of people.
there is
That.
jet ski a brand?
Yeah, jet ski is a brand,
Oh, what
or a model.
what
It's a model.
what is
Like
their like generic term then?
personal watercraft.
Ugh, that sounds stupid.
I know, like the generic term everybody thinks of is just say jet
Yeah, I
ski
thought jet ski
because
was
they
the
think because it just you everybody associates it with just the whole genre of them.
right. It's like
But
saying Xerox or copy.
yeah, exactly. It's just a general term, but people that own the different brands and stuff and actually are into it, they get real butthurt.
Oh,
So like Sea-Doo, I have two Sea-Doos, and Sea-Doo is the model. And they're made by BP or BP something. I can't remember what the actual thing is, but Sea-Doo is a model, just like my truck is a Dodge Ram.
right.
The Ram is the model. Jet ski is a model of a personal watercraft manufacturer. Wave Runner is the same thing. It's just a model of
Oh.
of a personal watercraft manufacturer. I can't remember which one's Yamaha, and I can't remember what the other one is. Maybe Suzuki. I don't
Mm.
know. I have a Sea-Doo. I like it. I don't like the other ones. I don't like their body styles and all that stuff. But the Sea-Doos are extremely sexy to me, I think.
Yeah, I have to correct myself now. I think I've been telling people jet ski because I thought it was all, but now I know seated. So I learned something.
It's just
I'm
kind
a
of a
little
general term, but
I'm a little less of a watercraft casual now. So
yeah. But hey, you got one up on my wife. You know, I've been trying to get her boater's license for months now, and she just procrastinates and procrastinates. At least you have your boater's license, so you can legally ride the ding.
yeah. Well, I mean, because I got my boating license so that because I have my John boat, which I can paddle around, but then I put a like an
Yeah.
electric trolling motor on it, so it
Mhm.
like so once you I don't know if this is the case everywhere, but at least for here or in Maryland, like once you attach a motor to it, then it becomes like I don't know, it's a difference between like being a kayak or being an actual boat. So once I put that motor
Well,
on
I
there, then
know
technically it's a boat. So I had to get a license.
gotcha.
I
You
mean, it's
you
easy.
might want to
I just
look
went
into
online.
it.
It's super easy.
No, yeah, me too. It's super easy. You might want to look. It may be like that, but it may be a certain horsepower, or I could be wrong. But I know in Virginia, uh, if uh, if the engine on your boat is 10 horsepower, uh, less than 10 horsepower, then you do not need a boater's license. But if it's more than 10 horsepower, you do.
Yeah,
Uh,
for Maryland,
so
it's any. I can't remember the term. It's anything that any amount of power. It's like if you have a powered motor.
gotcha.
I feel like that's a weird word, but one of the park rangers, because he asked, I pulled up and he's like, "Oh, that's not a I can't remember the term. He says like powered motor or something like that. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, does it use energy besides you like rowing or something? I was like, yeah, I got a little electric one. He's like, oh, he's like, I'm not gonna ticket you, but just so you know, you can't have, because where I was, we weren't supposed to have I guess a motor thing or whatever. But yeah, that's what Maryland. I don't know. Everything about Maryland is fucking stupid. I think like their gun laws, their hunting, their their hunting and fishing regulations, like tons of parks and lakes and shit and rivers that are awesome, but like to be able to use them is like so micromanaged compared to other places, like even just Virginia across the border, especially like Texas is fucking the best. But
yeah, I a lot of places are a lot better for rules than here. Virginia isn't too bad.
Yeah.
But hey, gotta
Yeah,
say
you
on
gotta
that note,
you gotta jump off,
gotta
right?
wrap up here. Yeah, So we'll get back into this and do another episode not too long from now, and we can
Oh yeah.
kick off with the other agenda items that we never got around to, and then add some to them.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this was a lot of fun. It's nice, it's enjoyable, freeing.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, man. If you want to send me, I think I sent you the GoPro footage that I have from the thing. If you want to send me yours too, I'm gonna try to chop it together. But yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, we'll set this up. I know you got to jump off. Do you have anything before you go that you wanted to? Any saved rounds?
No, just everybody have a great day, and use common sense.
Yeah. What do they say? Uncommon attribute or whatever. Common sense is an uncommon attribute, but yeah.
All right. Well, I will talk to you later on.
Yep.
And stay tuned, everybody, for the next episode.
We'll see ya.